Clinton's campaign is now in full attack mode following news of Donald Trump's meeting with President Peña Nieto of Mexico. Speaking in Ohio, the Democratic nominee referred to her opponent as, quote, a loose cannon, while pointing out that diplomacy doesn't happen overnight.
You don't build a coalition by insulting our friends or acting like a loose cannon. You do it by putting in the slow, hard work of building relationships. And it certainly takes more than trying to make up for a year of insults and insinuations by dropping in on our neighbors for a few hours and then flying home again. That is not how it works.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump quickly retaliated by including his opponent in a dangerous category of criminals. Watch.
Within ICE, I am going to create a new special deportation task force focused on identifying and quickly removing the most dangerous criminal illegal immigrants in America who have evaded justice, just like Hillary Clinton has evaded justice, okay? Maybe they'll be able to deport her.
Well, joining me now, David Wohl, attorney and Donald Trump supporter, and Richard Fowler, nationally syndicated radio talk show host. Gentlemen, welcome. I want to read a little bit of what we've gotten just from Hillary for America. They call this his darkest speech yet. They say Donald Trump has doubled down on his anti-immigrant rhetoric and attempted to divide communities by pitting people against each other and demonizing immigrants. David?
Well, if that's her definition of enforcing immigration laws, then so be it. You know, I liked how she indicated that this the nations come together with the slow, hard work of building relationships. Does that mean tearing up an invitation from the president of Mexico when you receive it and not going to Mexico? Because that's what happened today.
Maybe she will.
She might go, but again, she has this problem of any question she's asked, any conversation she engages in with the media will involve inevitably questions about the countless email scandals, the Clinton Foundation scandal, the UBS scandal. She simply cannot take questions. Her lawyers have told her you have faced too many Fifth Amendment issues. You have issues regarding criminal liability, and you can't do it.
Well,
and the media is letting her off the hook right now, so she's not doing it.
Again, that's a whole other topic, but let's try to stick to the speech tonight and to the reaction to the speech tonight. Richard, she also said that this is the idea that Donald Trump paints about America, one in which immigrants are not welcomed and one in which innocent families are torn apart. Now, that's something that Mr. Trump took on directly tonight because he had this parade of family members who have lost someone who was killed by somebody in this country illegally. And he said, why are we doing so much focusing on these families who could be separated because somebody came here illegally versus families who've lost someone forever? Their loved one is gone because somebody who was here illegally took their life.
I mean, losing a loved one is not easy, Shannon, at all. And so my heart goes out to all those families and anybody who's lost a loved one, whether by an illegal or a citizen of the United States. But that number is a small fraction. I think you have to look at this speech in its entirety. And what you notice from this speech is this. Donald Trump does a couple things. The first thing is he basically wants to create a law that won't deport all 11 million immigrants who live in this country illegally, but it will basically say you have to leave this country. The economic impact of 11 million illegal immigrants leaving this country will be dire.
David, would that happen? Is that how it would work?
No, that's not what he said anyway. He said
that's exactly what he said.
Will be the law. The pathway to citizenship will involve returning to your home country,
which means they have to leave
like they do.
For them to be here legally.
He qualified that. He qualified that, Richard, by saying the 11 million people, after we get control of the immigration problem, the 11 million here will be dealt with a reasonable assessment under the circumstances.
What does that mean?
He did not say rounding them up and deporting them.
It was
nuanced.
I will tell you, Shannon, I will tell you.
So, okay, Richard, how do you respond on this issue of the economics? Richard, how do you respond to those who say wages are depressed, unemployment is escalated because we have millions of extra people here who are taking jobs?
Well, that's not why unemployment has been depressed. Unemployment is depressed because corporations aren't creating jobs in America. Thanks to NAFTA and other trade deals, they're creating jobs in other places. Right? Now here's the thing, and let me
Which
be
is
very,
something
very,
that Trump says he wants to address.
Very true, and I agree there. I agree on trade with Donald Trump. That's the only thing I agree with him on, barely.
Okay, I'm going to mark it down, though. There's one thing.
But let's be very clear. What this speech shows that the Donald Trump campaign is the most bigoted, hate-filled campaign that we have seen since almost the Civil War. It's crazy that you would sit there and say, oh, I'm not going to insult Mexicans after having a great day with the Mexican president, for him now to turn around and slap illegal immigrants in the face, preach hate, use dog whistles.
Okay.
It's absolutely egregious.
All right, David, I'm going to have to give you a chance to respond. The most bigoted, hateful campaign since the Civil War.
That's just it's the bigot card, it's the race card. When you're backed into a corner,
Donald Trump played it very clearly
Richard,
tonight,
hold on.
David.
When you're backed into a corner, you've got no substantive argument. You throw out the race card. He went to Mexico this morning and showed his appreciation, tremendous appreciation of Mexico and the Mexican people. He indicated that he has tremendous.
Corner, which is why they want to build a ridiculous wall that's going to cost the American people billions of dollars.
He just wants to, you know, Richard. Donald Trump has repeatedly indicated that he has great love for the Mexican people and Mexican Americans.
Miss me with that.
He indicated how much they contribute to our society.
Mexicans are rapists,
it's all
they
about
steal,
illegal versus legal.
This is what he
not
said.
racial issues.
All right, gentlemen. It's past
That's what he
everyone's
said.
bed. It's past everyone's bedtime.
Miss me, please, David. Miss me.
It's past everyone's bedtime. So we're going to leave it there. We'll see you again soon, David and Richard. Great to see you both.
Thank you, Shannon.
Good
Thanks.
night. All right, in a heart-wrenching moment tonight, Donald Trump, you saw it if you watched the speech, invited onto the stage the parents and the relatives of Americans who were killed by people who were here illegally, including the mother of Sergeant Brandon Mendoza, a veteran law enforcement officer cut down in the prime of his life. Marianne Mendoza is here live next.
I'm Marianne Mendoza, the mother of Sergeant Brandon Mendoza, who was killed in a violent head-on collision May 12, 2014 in Mesa. Thank you. And I want to thank Phoenix for the support you've always given me. And I want to tell you what, I'm supporting the man who is the only man who's going to save our country and what we are going to be leaving our children.